too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money and the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I want to say what's up to everybody. I want to say hello to everybody on Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins, and I'll give you guys time to come into the chat as we get started. I want to remind everybody that drboycetv.com is the home for intelligent black people. So if you're not black and intelligent, you may want to promptly get the fuck out, because I'm going to hurt your feelings, because I speak the truth here. I hold nothing back. It is time to talk about the things that matter for our people, and there's nothing that should or can or ever will get in the way of that. So I want to say what's up, everybody. What's up, Telly B and Coach Sonny? How you doing? I see you in there. Boogie Maestro, what's going on, Doc? How you doing? Germination, that's a nice name. I like that. All right, so anyway, let's just get started. Let's just jump right into it. If you're watching, please hit the thumbs up button, share and subscribe button, and all that good stuff. Make sure you sign up, because I don't think there are a lot of good places on the internet to get honesty and intelligence and blackness all in the same place, right? Everybody's either lying, or they stupid, or they talking some old other shit, and we just don't do that here. We tell it like it is. That's the goal here every day. So anyway, let me hop into this conversation. I'm talking about Mr. Nick Cannon. I am worried about Nick Cannon. Has anybody, give me a yes or no in the chat if you have seen some of the ridiculously scary shit that Nick Cannon has been saying on his Twitter, talking about being suicidal and all this other stuff. Has anybody seen that? It's real interesting to watch, real sad to watch. If you are watching this, Nick, I pray for you, man. I hope that everything's okay. I hope that you're going to be all right. Now, mind you, I feel bad for you, but I don't feel sorry for you. I feel bad for you, but I'm not whining and crying for you, because you're a man, right? And a man should not be seeking people's sympathy. A man should be standing up, and that's what it is. Vicky Dillard said it the other day, eloquently on FlyNewBeanQueenTV.com, that, she's saying, look, we were just asking you to stand up to be a man. We weren't expecting you to be anything other than what you are, but she believes there's a warrior inside of you, and I believe there is too. So let's not try, I hope this is not the case, that we're trying to sort of take legitimate criticism and fold into a victim so that people will stop criticizing you. That's not how you should confront a very serious situation that's right in front of your face. So let me just give you the background in terms of why I chose to talk about Nick today. I was reading on Nick's Twitter. I saw something where he tweeted. I'm gonna read the tweet to you so I can make sure I quote the brother accurately. This was right after his whole controversy over anti-Semitism, which nothing he said that I saw was anti-Semitic. Right now, we live in a world where censorship is real. Truth has become the new hate speech. Truth has become the new hate speech. So you speak the truth in a way in which you, if you speak the truth in a way that offends people in power, they're going to say, oh, that's hate speech, or, oh, you're attacking me, right? It's just like, it's no different from dealing with somebody in a bad relationship. Has anybody ever had a bad relationship with somebody where every time you critique them, they either ball up and start turning into a victim? Like for women, it might be, she might start crying every time you call her on her bullshit. Like, and then she's like peeking between her eyes to see if you're falling for it. You know what I mean? Like, she starts crying, so that you won't call her on her shit, because she really knows she was wrong to demand the Gucci purse, but you call her out on it, so she starts crying. Or you see Karen in the mall, like, that's not right, that's not right. Well, Karen's just mad because she couldn't cut in line at the Walmart, and they told her dumbass to get in the back of the line like everybody else, but now she's crying, so she's the victim now. Somehow you're the victim when really you were the perpetrator, right? And men do that too. Some of y'all men are bitches too. Y'all know that some of y'all men go into bitch mode when your lady challenges you on certain things. You maybe turn into a victim, or you ball up and get mad, or you think she's attacking you. So a lot of people don't like to get caught on their shit. That's my point. A lot of people don't like to get caught on their shit. So a couple of tactics to avoid or to what they call gaslight. I think gaslighting is the term that Alicia uses. Alicia is a therapist. I'm marrying a therapist, by the way, a smart therapist. She's a full professor of social work, so she's well versed in therapy and the subconscious mind. And I'll be trying to get away with my bullshit. I'll be like, "You're attacking me. That, ma'am, what you have said is patently unfair, and you are being very anti-Boyce right now." And she'll be like, "Boyce, you're gaslighting me, Boyce. You're gaslighting me," right? So everybody can do it. Everybody can do it, right? And I believe right now the community that we're talking about, I shall not say their name because they own a lot of the media, and I ain't trying to get in trouble right now with this. But y'all know who I'm talking about. They will gaslight every time you come out and you say, it was wrong for the Israeli military to blow up that daycare center with all the little children in it. They'll be like, "That's anti-Semitic. You're anti-Semitic." Nobody's anti-Semitic. We're just saying that you didn't have to blow up the daycare, right? You didn't have to, go kill all those Palestinians. You could have went and dealt with the problem. Why'd you have to go kill them all, right? That's anti-Semitic, right? Gaslighting. Now, I believe, again, just like the rest of us get tempted to do, I think that if with all this talk on Twitter, I hope it's not the case. I hope it's not the case that Nick is gaslighting, that Nick is, falling into this victim circle, like, "Oh, now I'm sad. My community turned on me." They nobody turned on you, Nick. People just saying, "Hey, we're just demanding consistency here." We're like, "Hey, wait," people got excited. They said, "Oh, he's talking big shit and his bank account's matching," right? People got behind you, right? People got behind you and they're following you. And then next thing you know, you're driving the bus off the bridge. Right? Next thing you know, we think you're driving us off the plantation and you're pulling right up into Master's driveway. Like, "Okay, kids, come on, get out. Let's go inside Master's house." And we're like, you ever do that when your parents would tell you that you're going to like Disneyland or to Kings Island or to go swimming, and then they pull up at church or some shit, or you pull up somewhere where you don't want to go. You're going to grandma's house. I don't want to go to grandma's house right now. I thought we was going swimming, right? That's what Nick did. That's what Nick did with all his power and his powerful platform. Nick got the black community to get in the car with him. And then they said, "Okay, we trust you right now. We're letting you drive the car. We're letting you're driving us to the promised land. You're standing up like a man. You're being a great leader. We're going to ride in the car with you." And then you pulled up to Massa's house expecting us to all get out and go inside Massa's house. And we're like, "No, we're not going inside Massa's house." Right? And so the community did not turn on Nick. Nick will always get love in the black community. Black people are loving human beings. We love everybody. Even y'all grew up learning how to love slave masters. Like, seriously, like that's how crazy half of us are, right? We love people like George Washington who wanted to lynch and kill and rape black women and chase black slaves down until they were dead, right? So we can love everybody, especially Nick Cannon, right? People are gonna challenge Nick, but I don't think Nick's gonna go places in the black community and not get love. But black people are growing up. We're becoming more politically mature. We're becoming more hip to the game. We're becoming a little bit more socioeconomically and sociopolitically sophisticated. Why is that? Well, because the internet has created avenues where smartasses like me who can come out and say, "Let me explain the game to y'all," right? You got your teachers right here online. I have a PhD, right? I can break the game down in certain ways. And there are other people that can do this. And Minister Farrakhan is out there now. He can break the game down so then black folks don't fall for the okie doke. Because remember, if this were 30 years ago, you wouldn't be hearing from me. 30 years ago, you wouldn't be hearing as much from a Farrakhan because they blocked him out of the media, right? So you'd be falling for the okie doke because your master would be controlling what you think, right? So that's what Nick is seeing. And if Nick watches this, that's what's going on, man. Don't nobody hate you. And I think Nick knows this. Nick is a smart man. He ain't that naive. So anyway, let me keep going. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way. Please hit the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. So I'm reading, I was reading on Nick's Twitter, just some very disturbing language. He says something like, "Y'all can have this planet, I'm out." That almost sounds suicidal. What does it mean that you're going to another planet? Are you hanging out with Elon Musk? Did he build a rocket ship that we don't know about and you're going to Mars? Or does that mean that you're talking about killing yourself? If that's the case, then let me just be the first to say a couple of things. And I'm qualified to say this because I am a very good armchair psychologist. I'm a very good person who ain't never studied nothing in school on this, but I know a lot of shit just from picking information up around the way. My fiance happens to be an expert on suicide. I'm not joking. Not only is she a therapist, but she's also an expert on suicide. We went to Guyana. Remember y'all remember we went to Guyana for a whole semester? The reason we were in Guyana is because Guyana has had a suicide problem since Jim Jones got all the black people to drink the Kool-Aid back in the day. And they brought her to Guyana to help them deal with their suicide issue. So I have heard a lot about suicide. So let me tell you a couple little facts that I know about suicide. Number one, you shouldn't do it. Okay, we know, right? That's easy, right? It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem most of the time. Now, if you are suicidal, it could be partly genetic. A lot of us don't know that a lot of suicidal tendencies actually can be transferred from parent to child. So if you're feeling that ever, then just trust me. Do you trust me? Give me a yes or no in the chat if you at least trust some of what I'm saying. Do you trust me? Give me a yes or no. If you trust me, then please trust me when I say that those are not normal feelings. You should not be feeling that way. You need to go to see somebody so you can get some therapy and some medication and maybe some perspective so that you can see things in a way that is going to keep you from believing that ending your life is a solution to your problem. Okay, so that's what. So everybody's out here, and I say this with complete sincerity because I've had people email me and tell me that the one guy emailed me. I swear to God, he emailed me and told me that he was sitting on the toilet with a knife that he was about to stab in his stomach, and the phone dropped, and my video started, and it happened to be a motivational conversation I was having, and he said that conversation kept him from killing himself. And I said, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And that let me know that that the words we share are important and powerful. And I'm so appreciative to have the chance to save this young man's life. And I just want everybody out there to know, like, no matter what you're going through, no matter how dark the world seems, it ain't never as dark as you think it is, and you can come through this. Okay, so that's the first thing. So if Nick is feeling this way, if Nick is truly feeling suicidal, Twitter ain't the place to work it all out. Twitter is not a therapy platform. That is not a platform where you're supposed to just get it all out and let the whole world in on everything you're feeling deep down. Twitter, it might be a place to start, but it should not finish there, right? You got to go see somebody, talk to somebody, but don't think the black community is responsible for how you're feeling right now. The black community did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong to Nick Cannon by challenging him on what he did. And this idea that he's sort of talking about being suicidal is a bit problematic because one, it leaves me concerned about him. I hope this brother does not kill himself. But then number two, I'm going to tell you another little secret about suicide that I have learned from Alicia. I wish she was here to confirm this, but most people who talk about suicide don't actually do it. A lot of people who talk about it are using it to get sympathy and attention. Most people who really want to kill themselves, that's who you got to watch. The people you got to watch when it comes to suicide are the people who don't say shit because they already decided it's going to happen. I don't even want anybody to know because if I tell you, you might intervene and block me from achieving my goal, which is to make sure that I really do leave this planet, right? So announcing it to 4.8 or maybe it's 4.9 million followers on Twitter, that right there says that there's something more to this than just I really truly want to do this, right? And that's just me being honest about that. I hope I didn't sound insensitive when I say that, but that's just what I observe, and that's my thought here. Now, the other part here too is so when Nick is talking about talking this very sad suicidal talk. He's talking about a guy named Ryan Bowers. I never heard about Ryan Bowers, but it looked like he was one of Nick's artists under, I guess, a label Nick had. I didn't know Nick had a label, but he does a little bit of everything. He's a smart guy. So it still looks like apparently he had a record label. I remember he was trying to rap against Eminem or something, which usually if you try to rap against Eminem, you're not going to win. Eminem is a very good rapper. He's crazy. He's weird, but he's a good rapper. And he was writing this long note basically saying that Ryan Bowers had the courage to do something he wished that he had the courage to do, right? Now, without me judging whether or not, I told you, brother to brother, I don't think that that should be your goal, to have enough courage to kill yourself. You got too much to live for. I would say that man to man. But what I will also say, voice to community, is this. The fact that Nick is talking like this probably insinuates that, again, I did a video the other day on drboystv.com explaining why your celebrities should not be your black leaders. The fact that Nick is talking this way right there tells you that he might not be stable enough psychologically to be a significant leadership force in the black community. I know that you like you like black celebrities because they have big followers on Instagram. You like black celebrities because you've seen them on TV. You like black celebrities because they have big money. You like black celebrities because white people love them and they hate you. But I'm just telling you, most of these celebrities, unfortunately, many of them are just not in a place mentally where they are truly prepared to pay all the full prices that come with being truly black in America unapologetically all the time. Because I can tell you right now that when you start getting real black, blickety black, black on the black side every single day of the week consistently and twice on Sundays, white people will eventually start to hate you. Well, not only will they start to hate you, but they will try to destroy you. They will seek and destroy. They will discredit you. They might even try to incarcerate you. They will definitely try to leave you broke. So the question becomes to me, if somebody tells me they want to be a leader, I'm looking at how sturdy are you as an individual? How solid are you in terms of your self-esteem? How comfortable are you with yourself? Can you get up tomorrow and realize that the whole world hates your guts and still be able to smile and look in the mirror and be happy with the person that you see? I don't know a lot of celebrities who are in that place. I definitely know that while if you look at the talk of great leaders in history like Martin and Malcolm, for example, and many of the others, or in Harriet Tubman, people like that, you saw that they were willing to die for what they believed in, right? But they weren't suicidal. They were even willing, some of them were willing to kill for what they believed in, but they weren't suicidal. So they might have been homicidal if necessary, but they weren't suicidal, right? So I think that at the end of the day, you know, the fact that he's speaking this way further confirms to me that he wasn't really about that. He wasn't ready for that life yet. I think that he can. And again, I go back to, I think that all this could have been avoided if he simply just not done that, not even went there in that conversation with Griff. Professor Griff is a heavy guy. Professor Griff has paid prices to be who he is and where he's at. He's been alienated from spaces because he's been, deeply committed to being who he is. So when you decide to go and have that conversation, it's almost like if you say that you're a Crip, and the other Crips get in the car and say, we're about to go ride on somebody and we need you to be ready to pull that trigger, you got to think twice before you decide to get in that car. Because once you get in that car, then you're in a situation that you can't really necessarily back out of. So I think that with Nick, once he decided to get in that car with the black community, once he decided to just get that blickety black, because you can be black, like you got, lightweight blackness, you've got medium weight blackness, and then you got heavyweight blackness, right? He could have done medium weight or lightweight, but unfortunately, sometimes we want to go heavyweight when that's not really made, that's not a fit for you, right? It's like, for example, I'm going to be a married man soon. There's certain things that I can do with my friends, and there's certain things I just can't do. There's some situations where I might have to say, you know what, man, y'all going to go to the club. I got to go home. Right. And it doesn't make me less of a man. It just means that I understand my lane and I know that the situations I want to be in and the ones I don't want to be in, the things I can do and the things I cannot do. Right. So when you are married to the game, when you are married to Hollywood, when you're married to that community out there, out west, when you're married to that community that values things like LGBT rights over black people, when you're married to a community where drugs and orgies is kind of the way of life, right? When you're married to a community where saying things that are even remotely considered anti-Semitic will get you fired, you can't go into certain spaces in the black community and still maintain your connection to the original community to which you swore allegiance, right? So that's what I would say on Nick. The next thing I would say, two more points I want to make on this, because I come in here with a purpose to talk to you guys. I didn't come in here just to ramble. I saw Diddy sent Nick to Madonna's manager for advice or for counseling. Madonna's manager is a white guy. I think, he's of that community. You know what I'm talking about. I'm trying not to say it too much because I think Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook and I don't want to piss nobody off. And that's where he got his counseling. And I think that says a lot about, now if that's the case, again, maybe there's more to it, but if that's the case, that really speaks to you in terms of what you're dealing with, right? Why wouldn't Diddy send Nick to Farrakhan for counseling, right? Farrakhan is an excellent counselor. I have sat with Minister Farrakhan, me and him for 2 hours in a room talking. It was the best conversation I ever had in my life. It was therapeutic. It was inspirational. The wisdom was extraordinary. I asked him questions about how to deal with certain dilemmas. I said, how do you deal with people that just hate your guts no matter what you say and what you do? And he taught me about dealing with your critics and how to deal with your critics. And that was amazing. There are many, many celebrities who get counseling from the minister. Many of them get counseling in a way that's out of the public eye because they don't want people to know that they call the minister. But the minister gets a lot of respect and he deserves all that respect. So I'm just trying to figure out, why did he send him to this white guy for counseling in a situation where his black identity is really the thing that's under duress, right? Because the thing is that your counselor, your therapist will either, in many cases, will either encourage you to stay strong or they will encourage you to stay weak, right? They will encourage you to double down or they will encourage you to throw in your chips, right? Because in this situation, in Nick's situation, let's keep it 100. There really is no universally right or wrong decision. There is no like, oh, this is definitely right. This is definitely wrong. I know you might feel that way because most of y'all are black. For us, the decision's simple, right? We know what the decision should be. It's stay black all the time, blickety black, no matter what, right? But that's not the universally correct decision. Maybe, there are pros and cons to every decision, right? Being black comes with a huge cost. It comes with a huge price that you must pay, and you must be willing to pay that price. Some people are not. That's why they go in a different direction. But then, deciding to go and cater to Hollywood is going to be something that comes with rewards, but it's going to come with a cost, right? So I think that who you choose to get counseling from, who you choose to get your guidance from, says a lot about your initial proclivities in the first place. What do I mean by that? How I go about solving a problem speaks a lot about what my solution's gonna be from the jump. So for example, if you give me the same damn situation, you tell me a little kid is being beaten up at school every day, and you say, well, how should you solve that problem? And let's say one person is a liberal, the other one's a conservative, right? Well, maybe the liberal has one solution and the conservative has a different solution, right? Doesn't mean the solutions are bad or good. It just means that they're different. They're coming from different perspectives. So the perspective by which I choose to solve a problem speaks volumes about what my ultimate solution is going to be. Right. So if Nick is going to get counseling from people who tell him that, yes, absolutely, Nick, that was anti-Semitic. Yeah, Nick, I think the best route is to apologize. Yeah, Nick, that money's more important than anything else in the world. Ain't none of these Negroes going to pay your bills. Then that's going to cause him to go further in that direction, because Nick is a guy who, like many of us, is conflicted. He's got the devil and the angel on his shoulder. Right. So you think about a man. Imagine a man who's got the devil and the angel on his shoulder. Right. He's got his woman on this side, and that's telling him to be a good boy and to not do anything that he's not supposed to do. Then he's got the devil on the other side that's saying, there's this pretty girl over here and you can go do this and nobody will know or whatever, right? So if he has a friend who's a married man who says, hey man, I know it's tempting, I understand it, but that's not going to really benefit your relationship. So you need to go in that direction, right? But then he might have another friend who tells him something completely different. That's why the types of friends you choose to have in your circle will determine which side of you will emerge, right? If I'm hanging around my ratchet friends, the ratchet voice might come out. If I'm hanging around my intelligent friends, the intelligent voice might come out, right? So for Nick, he's got all kinds of friends. He's got his blickety black friends on this side, and he's got his maybe white Jewish friends or Hollywood friends on the other side. Who he chooses to listen to is going to determine how he chooses to proceed from this point on. So a lot of times the reason you lose your black men when they go to Hollywood or they go to the NBA or the NFL is because they end up being surrounded by people who are pulling a different side of them out that isn't beneficial to the black community. So look at an NBA player. He's a black man. He's growing up in the hood. He's super black. He's all about black people, black pride, black this, black that. Then suddenly he's drafted by the Boston Celtics. And then he meets Becky, at an NBA function. So he gets this white wife. And then his agent and his manager are two little, Jewish guys that went to Harvard, right? And then his coach is a white guy. And the media is white. And suddenly he's surrounded by all this whiteness that's going to shape his point of view. That's going to shape what his decisions are going to be. And then next thing you know, you talk to him and it's like talking to a fucking alien because he's literally been on another planet. So part of this is my point to you, because this is about you. This ain't really about me. It ain't about Nick. It ain't about none of that. It's really more so about you. if you want to make sure that the right side of who you are always emerges, if you make a decision like, look, I'm a free black man, then me deciding to be a free black man means I must approach every decision I make as a free black man. Me deciding to be a free black man means that before decisions are made, I must make a choice that the people that I even seek counsel from are going to be other free black people. If I'm not going to go to a slave to learn how to be better at being free, because if I'm a free man who's listening to slaves, then I'm going to be conflicted, confused, all over the place, looking crazy, because I'm not going to be able to maintain a consistent standard. Right. So I would almost say to Nick, like, choose who the fuck you are, man. Seriously, what are you gonna be? What you can't be everything to everybody. You can't. What are you gonna be? Pick a side, pick a version of Nick Cannon that you believe in the most, and double down on that shit and marry that life and be that guy all the time and stick with it. That's the key thing. I don't really care what kind of person you are at the end of the day, one way or the other. I don't care what your views are. I'm a big believer in freedom of speech, by the way. I think all this censorship is going to come back to bite us in the ass. Just be clear. This talk about, well, we want to stop hate speech. Guess what? Next thing you know, they'll be shutting your ass down for hate speech too, because you simply pointed out something that was true. So do not go along. If you want my 2 cents, I will tell you this. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I don't support any sort of censorship whatsoever. If somebody wants to call me the N-word, then guess what? You call me the N-word, I'm going to call you a cracker, right? You say something derogatory about black people, I'm going to say something derogatory about you. I'm not going to fold up into a whining little bitch and start crying and say, oh my God, you called me the N-word, it hurt my feelings, it's just not right. I'm not built that way. I don't think a competitor is built that way, because what happens is that when you start allowing people to censor your enemies, eventually they will start censoring you too. Be clear about that. So here's one last point I want to make about Hollywood. This is one thing that came to mind when I was looking at what Nick is going through. And again, I want to make it 100% clear. I wish him well. I hope he's okay. If anybody knows Nick, tell him Boyce Watkins is not his enemy. If he ever called me on the phone, I would talk to him with love and respect, and I would not in any way bash him on any level. I do not think Nick is a bad guy. I just don't like his decision. Right now it's really me talking to a little brother and saying, come on, man, grow some nuts, man. Like get you reattach your balls, man. We need you with your balls intact, right? So that's what I would do. That's the most pressure I put on me. It wouldn't be to say he's a bad person. But the last point I'll make is this: has anybody else noticed how many black men go to Hollywood and end up going crazy? You know, when Nick was talking suicidal, that's what came to mind. I started thinking about all the black men I've seen go to LA. You know, remember, you've been dreaming about this. You've been dreaming about being a star. Everybody grows up wanting to be famous and all that. They go to Hollywood and they lose their damn mind. I'm thinking about Martin Lawrence. Remember when Martin Lawrence was running up and down the street butt naked, cussing people out, holding a gun or something crazy, right? I'm thinking about Dave Chappelle, who, you know, just walked away from $50 million because they were driving him crazy. I think about poor Richard Pryor, who would have been better off in his life if he spent his time around people that could help him heal, as opposed to being around people that led him to self-medicate with drugs, right? Richard Pryor came out saying some shit that didn't make no sense to nobody, talking about, I wanted to know what it was like to be with a man, so I slept with a man for 3 weeks and I didn't like it, so I switched back. What kind of shit is that? What planet? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being gay. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, what are you talking about? Like, what black people, we don't talk like that in our community. Richard Pryor was born before integration. He was born in 1940. In 1940, black people did not live like that. Black people did not think that way. It did not mean that there were not gay people in the community. There always have been gay people. We know this, and I think you need to accept that. But that's not how we roll. That's not who we are, right? And you name, I see some of y'all naming some other names. Kanye West. Poor Kanye done lost his damn mind. Tamar Braxton the other day was talking about being suicidal. Poor Michael Jackson. He wasn't quite right when he left the earth. Whitney Houston in the drugs and all that stuff. Malik Yoba, there's another name. Who else? Orlando Brown from the Disney Channel. He was a Disney kid. Now he's like a crazy crackhead thug or something. I don't know what the hell's going on with Orlando Brown. And the thing is, I believe that people who lose it like that, they lose it because they don't have a firm foundation anymore. I believe that the difference between people who just lose their damn mind and people who know who they are and remain consistent is what are you grounded? Do you have a foundation that you can reattach to so that you're not going all over the place? Because think about it, a leaf is lightweight. A leaf will blow whichever way the wind blows, right? It could end up over here, it could end up over there, it could go whatever, right? So when you're trying to be popular and trying to be loved by everybody, you become like a leaf. You're just blowing over here. The wind's blowing east, you're east. If the wind's blowing west, you're going blowing west. So you're feeling good because you feel like you're connected. You're the popular kid, but really you're being a little bit schizophrenic, right? But I never wanted to be a leaf. I wanted to be a rock, right? A rock is heavy. It's in the ground, 2, 3, 4 inches. No matter how hard the wind blows, the rock will never move, right? And I believe that in our community, we raise too many leaves. We have too many black people that don't want to be black. We have too many children that are raised as white supremacists. They are raised going to school every day, studying about how wonderful white people are and how ignorant black people are, right? Your whole history is you started as a slave and then there was Martin Luther King and now you're free, right? That's all you learn. And they never learn anything great about being who they are, about being black, and about being sort of sturdy and committed to who they are. They spend all their time trying to get out of the hood. They spend all their time trying to go work for white people. They spend all their time trying to be around anybody other than themselves and each other, right? And they become like leaves. They just float around everywhere. And next thing you know, they can't take it. They're going crazy because they're getting in these spaces where they think white people are going to start being nice to them. And then they start getting treated like a nigga. And then they can't take it. And they lose their mind. Has anybody ever seen a black person go crazy over racism? Like racism on the job, where they can't take it. The microaggressions are just so much that they just get tired of paying the price and they start drinking and maybe they start getting into drugs or maybe they need a therapist now because they can't handle racism. Racism will drive you insane. That's what I'm saying. Racism will literally have you certifiably insane, like on medication, because they will just tear away at you until there's nothing left. You literally don't have a soul, right? And so to me, the difference, here's the difference. Here's how you can protect your children from this. Very basic. Raise your kids with a firm foundation in terms of who they are. You are a young black man. That means you were born in the sweet spot of society. You are not meant to be a nomad. You don't have to go somewhere else in order for you to become somebody. Right? We're not doing the default case in this house that you're just born a Negro until a white man makes you something special, until they start decorating you with accolades and labels and you're wearing Gucci. And now I'm somebody because I'm wearing Gucci and I went to Harvard and I work at IBM, right? Label, right? I won a Grammy or an Oscar. Label. I need you to label me in order for me to feel like I'm somebody. And if I don't have these labels, I feel naked and I feel worthless. No, I think the opposite should be true. Your black skin is your label. That is your brand of greatness. That is like being born made out of solid fucking gold. So you are golden as a black person. You are right where you need to be. You are in the middle of the greatest community in this planet. You right there, when you are in the hood and you are surrounded by your people, not only are you validated and meaningful and relevant and capable, but you're also secure and safe. Right? Like we understand you, you understand us, we're building together, we're doing something great. Like there's nothing greater in this world than to work with a bunch of other black people and to be surrounded by black people every single day of the week, because that is the sweet spot. That's where everybody else wants to get to. So no, you're not trying to get out to the suburbs. They should be trying to get next to you. Right? And I think that is a way to give your children an inheritance that has nothing to do with money. Right? You're giving them an inheritance that has nothing to do with how many digits are in their bank account. The inheritance you give them is the greatness that comes with being black. And if a child grows up with that, like if they grow up with that beautiful inheritance that says, I ain't got to go nowhere to be somebody. I already am somebody. I ain't got to please or impress nobody to be somebody. I am somebody because I'm black. I don't need your validations. You can keep your awards. I don't even care enough about you to even criticize you because I already know that I'm in the place to be, right? I don't want to go mainstream because I am the stream. I've carved out the stream. This is my stream, right? And I'm telling you this, I'm telling you the joy of this because this is what I feel every day. This is what I feel every day. And it took time for me to get there because I too was born a slave like many of you. I too was born as a white supremacist. I was a little black boy in Kentucky. I left Kentucky at the age of 18 for the same reasons Muhammad Ali left at the age of 18. I said, I got to get out of here. This is too much. I can't take this racism. It's driving me crazy. And then over time, after spending years chasing the golden goose and spending many years chasing the labels, spending many years chasing the accolades, chasing the acceptance, I eventually realized, like, wait a minute, I am special. I am brilliant. I am somebody. I'm damn handsome. I'm smart as shit. I can do anything. I'm a hardworking man. I'm a good person. I'm going to build something amazing right here so that people will want to come up and be next to me. So when I wake up every day, let me tell you what my day looks like. Number one, I work with almost nothing but black people. I really do. When I see white people, I'm very nice to them because they have no influence over my life. You could call me all kinds of nasty, negative Negro names, and I would just laugh and ignore you because I'd say, you're just mad because I'm rich, and I wish you the best. I hope that white Jesus takes good care of you the way my God is taking care of me, right? I work around black people. I'm marrying the most beautiful black woman I've ever seen in my life. I have 3 black children in my house that are gorgeous, intelligent, and extraordinary. I get to talk about issues that matter to black people. I get to talk to you every day, and I get to be who I am and be loved for being who I am. Like, you know, and it's the best feeling in the world. I get to run the black business school. Right? It's black. It's the title. It's black in the name, and we get to be black, bliggity black, as we want to be all the time. And it is the most comfortable place in the universe. Right. And so what I really want for you and your children and your grandchildren is I want you to feel the same joy that I feel every day, to say life is a blessing, man, because I am surrounded by everything that makes black amazing, wonderful, and beautiful. I get to live in the inheritance and the extraordinary wealth that my ancestors left me. And I'm not talking about financial wealth. They left me a set of abilities that literally make me feel like I am better than everybody else. That we as a community are better than and I'm kind of like, man, like I don't really care about integration. I honestly believe black people are built for domination. In fact, I thought about this and I said, gosh, I don't really know how to talk to white people about racism and exclusion and not integration, but also inclusion and all that, because I don't really want inclusion, because I actually want domination. Like I really believe that I'm the Negro you should have oppressed. Like I understand why you wanted to abort me, because I'm a bad motherfucker, right? And I'm raising a whole lot of bad motherfuckers. Like a lot of people are listening to me now, and you can't tell me that if you've been listening to me for more than 6 weeks that you're not feeling at least 20% stronger than you were when we first met, right? So in a way, I understand. I totally get it. Because it's like a basketball game. Like if I'm scoring 60 points a game on you, I understand why you're going to play extraordinary defense. I understand why you're putting the double team on me, because if I were you, I would be double teaming me too. In fact, I wouldn't even just double team me. I would probably do what they did to Michael Jordan and get a pizza sent to my hotel room that has poison in it to make sure that I can't play in the game. So they poison the black man, I believe, because I think that they see something that many of us don't see. I think they understand that when we're really focused, when we're really on our shit, when our self-esteem is on 10 and we're really ready to go, and our education is at a high level, and we're analytical and strategic, and we're hardworking and brave and courageous, that really we truly cannot be stopped. Because let's just be clear, African Americans are built for world domination. And I don't care what anybody says. It probably sounds so politically incorrect to say this because everybody's on this equality tip. I don't believe in equality that much, honestly. Think about this. I went to Ghana. I'm going to say something be done. I went to Ghana and I sat in the slave dungeon, right? And the slave dungeon is a horribly sad and depressing experience. I was there, and the rapper T.I. was there, as well as some other people, and they were showing us around this slave dungeon, and it was very sad, and is very dark, and the floor is several inches thick, because they said that is the hardened feces of the slaves that were kept in these dungeons. That's how terrible it was. They had to live in their own feces for weeks and months at a time. Extreme heat. They turned the lights out so we could feel what they felt. It was the most terrible feeling in the world. And I felt, for a minute, I felt what everybody else felt. I felt extreme sadness, for my ancestors that had to go through that. I really did. I felt anger at the people who did this to us, right? And I felt determination that I would never allow this to happen again, because I was seeing the ugliness of the human spirit, the ugliness of what one man will do to another man and his family if you allow that man to dominate you, right? But then I also felt this extraordinary power, because I said, oh my God, I'm a descendant of the people who survived this. Like, my ancestors were here and they still made it through, right? And then they made it through the Middle Passage. And then they made it through 250 years of the most brutal slavery known to man. You can't tell me that I'm not built for domination. You can't tell me that I'm not part of what could be defined as a super species, right? When you think about everything we've overcome and what we went through and how we got to where we are, how could you not conclude that black people are ordained to do something that will allow us to eventually inherit the earth? Like, seriously, like we have something, we got the secret sauce, man. So I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, like, embrace who you are, embrace your greatness, embrace your possibilities, because can't nothing stop us. Can't nothing stop. Even we can't stop ourselves. We are so great that even we can't stop us. Right. So that's all I got to say. I appreciate y'all listening. And again, I know we started off talking about Nick Cannon and I went to a different place, but that's what it was. Again, that black greatness came out and it just took me over here. So I had to talk about it. And I hope that you get what I'm saying. I hope that you believe at least some of what I'm saying. I ain't got to be right about everything, but hopefully what I said helped you in your own journey, because I know that everybody's going through it. And I encourage you to realize that there is nothing that can happen that is the worst thing that can happen to you. Like, there's nothing that can happen that is the worst thing that could ever happen, right? So no matter what it is, no matter what abyss you're facing, no matter what darkness you're facing, if you face it with determination, strength, and commitment and focus, and you just push through that shit, it's going to make you stronger than you were before. It happens 99 times out of 100. I guarantee it. Don't let it break you down. Don't let it kill you, because you're meant to be great. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Please take a second. Subscribe to drboycetv.com if you haven't done that yet. Also, this week, some of you are having trouble with homeschooling. In the Black Business School, we're offering free homeschool training sessions every Thursday at noon. No Malenga Mushali Moses is doing it. Somebody please type in the URL so others can see it. It is to register. You can go to theblackHomeschoolNetwork.com. That's theblackHomeschoolNetwork.com. theblackHomeschoolNetwork.com. Number 2, we're having Black Movie Night on the 23rd. We're building a black movie industry by supporting black filmmakers. It is totally free. You can go to the next movie. We're going to show Black Friday, which is a great movie by Rick Mathis. David Banner's in it. Chuck D's in it. I'm in it. Les Brown is in it. I think one of the Judge Hatchett is in it. A lot of great people in it. So if you want to join us at Black Movie Night Thursday night at 8 o'clock, go to blackmovienight.net, not .com. That's blackmovienight.net. Also, last but not least, if you're interested in learning how to trade stock options, in the Black Business School, we have a stock options investing masterclass. So feel free to go to drboycemasterclass.com. That's drboycemasterclass.com. So feel free to check out that as well. So that's what we got going on. Thank you guys for listening. It was real. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boy's